Oh, baby, this is the Sixers Talk podcast brought to you by Wilmington University. WilmU works hipper than a hippopotamus. We are coming to you live from Fairmount at the Urban Saloon, where I think I have about at least 50, 60 people here who are willing to give their right thumb to Joel Embiid if need be. But we are excited to be here. Ben Berry in the flesh. We are sitting next to each other instead of virtual. So this is always fun. But please, your questions, your comments, your thoughts, please send them in to us. We are coming to you live on YouTube, Twitter, as well as Facebook. So wherever you're consuming us, so glad you could be here with us. Ben, we are counting down to a sweep, baby.
Counting down to a sweep.
Are you feeling the sweep?
Feel the sweep. I asked the guys earlier for a broom. I forgot to bring mine. You forgot to bring yours. No one brought one with them. They got a broom behind the bar. I'm excited for this. We're getting it done tonight.
The only thing standing in the way of the Sixers getting it done is the issue I alluded to a few seconds ago is Joel Embiid's right thumb. We've seen it in a brace now. We've learned that was the reason why the game ended at 10:45 in Game 3, and he didn't come out to speak to the media until 12:30 because he was getting treatment on that thumb. There are depending on which reports you believe, there is speculation that it could be a torn ligament in that thumb. He is scheduled to have an MRI. We do not know exactly when that will be, but he is a go tonight. But listen, man, this is the NBA playoffs, and it's a reason why in hockey that they call it a lower body injury, upper body injury, because they know that hockey guys might target those areas that are a little more tender. I don't put that past anyone in these playoffs to come down on Joel and kind of smack him as he's trying to go up or whatever.
There's no one on the Raptors that's a Patrick Beverly. I'm not worried about that. And Embiid,
they were roughing him up in Game 2.
They were roughing him up, but they have Patrick Beverly die for people's knees. I don't think we're going to see that in Game 4 this afternoon. But Embiid, he played in the playoffs on the torn meniscus, played well, still dominated. I don't think the thumb is going to slow him down. The Raptors don't have anyone that can slow him down. I still see him having a big game, getting a lot of rest before they end up facing eventually the Heat in round 2.
Yo, we know that thumb did not slow down that shot
at
the end of Game 3. What was your reaction before we move towards today's game and today's issues? What was your reaction to that shot going through?
My reaction was he's really about to shoot another step back three at the end of the regulation. He did it at the end of the first overtime. I'm like, come on now, Doc, draw up a bit better play. Then he shot it and it went in. I was like, oh, great shot, great shot.
Bro,
did a complete 180.
And it was nothing but net. And there's nothing better than the sound of the swish of basketball net. I mean, okay, yeah, the crack of a home run. But that swish, and the word swish just so perfectly describes what happens when the ball falls through.
I got one for you. Over a swish. Someone getting dunked on. Someone getting dunked on. Just a poster.
What sound do you think of, though? The sound, the reaction of the crowd?
Someone's soul dying on the inside, screaming for help. Thinking about being immortalized on the poster forever.
Listen, man, we are excited to be here live from the 76ers Bar Network, the Phila Unite playoff party. The food is looking good. We're brought to you by Corona. I see a ton of those around. Limes galore. Hey, come out. Join us. Come have some fun. We appreciate everyone who helped put this together and make it happen. But here they are on the verge of a sweep, Ben. The Raptors were supposed to be the team that was going to slow the Sixers down and give them some issues. I point to that week of before the playoffs started, of them practicing heavily. And I think that is what catapulted them to this point. And we talked about a little bit of that in the last podcast. But the way they turned the corner and have been cohesive, how excited are you with the results so far compared to what you may have expected?
I'm very excited. You and Noah talked on the pod. Noah had this game going 6 or 7 games.
I had 6.
You had 6. Luckily, we don't have what I said on record, so I can say, oh, yes, I had the Sixers doing the sweep. But overall, like in the regular season, Siakam gave Tobias Harris problems and fits on the defensive end. Tobias Harris is nearly putting the clamps on Siakam, who's only averaging 18 points so far through 3 games in the series on 40% shooting. Nick Nurse, a lot of people came to the series thinking Nick Nurse is the superior coach.
Me, yes. I was one of those people.
And I can't throw any shade for thinking that, but Doc Rivers right now is coaching circles around Nick Nurse. We know the Raptors didn't have anyone down big enough to stop Embiid or slow him down, so they just send in double and triple teams. That's not doing anything, so they're just hacking him. And Maxey just
That's why I'm worried about the injury. They've been hacking him so much that maybe that gets aggravated. I mean, you know, he's going to play through it, and knowing Joel, it's going to be something that he takes on as like a challenge to overcome. But I'm a little concerned there.
You're a little concerned? No.
Like a parting shot. Take this with you the rest of the playoffs. Ha-cha.
Hacha. Even if they do that, I can't even take this dude seriously. Even if they do that, Sixers finish it off today. They get that rest, and all those worries about what the Raptors would do is out the window.
Big win by the Hawks in order to extend the Heat series so that the Sixers take care of business today, that they can
a longer time of rest.
Right.
And rest up that thumb. Guys get off their feet for a little time. Practice, prepare for the next series, which most likely will be the Heat.
One last thought, something I wanted to get to but didn't before we push forward to today. It's crazy, bro, because Tobias Harris had a chance to be the man of destiny, but it was Fate had it set up for Joel Embiid to get some redemption from all those tears and the crying and complaining from the Kawhi shot, which we don't like to think about or talk about. But it could have been Tobias.
It could have been.
But Fate had it for Joel Embiid.
I don't call it fate. He missed the bunny. I seen Tim Duncan miss bunnies.
He was getting hacked, though.
He missed the bunny.
Okay.
I seen Tim Duncan miss a bunny in the finals. It happens. I seen LeBron James do it. I would like to say, you say it's fate, and it was a great shot.
That shot didn't look like fate?
It was a great shot. I think maybe if it was in a later round, because the Kawhi shot kept the Sixers from going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
This shot wins Game 3. It's just on the borderline of a sweep. Great shot. Just the meaning for each shot is different. So that's why I want to compare the two.
We got some Tobias Harris video floating here. And listen, bro, if we're talking about people who turn the corner.
Yep.
And
bring it on, because you know I've been calling him all sorts of names.
I can't even look at this dude because the smirk on his face, because he has definitely put Tobias
I called him cheeks.
under the bus, rolled back over him.
I called him cheeks.
You did call him.
Yeah, my
super
boss right
cheek.
there. I called him cheeks. Was he good his first couple weeks?
Let me finish. But he's turned the corner and accepted his role as more of a spot-up shooter, a guy who can defend. His numbers are right where they need to be here, 19 points a game here in the postseason. He's playing more minutes, but the effort on defense, the way he's moving his feet, his contribution has been everything that they've needed through these first 3 games. Do you agree?
Yes. His contribution, 19 points a game, over 50, 60. His shooting splits is something crazy.
Okay.
So, yes, he has proven me wrong for the time being. I
Right.
did call him cheeks for a while because he wasn't playing good. He looked bad. The trade looked bad. He wasn't playing up to the all-star he wanted to be.
Right.
This series, he's finally provided the Sixers what they need, what they want out, their third option, which is nice to see. Keep doing it. I'm not going to take everything back
Fourth option
after 3.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fourth option is real.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take everything back just because he did it for 3 games.
No remorse.
None.
I will not take it back. But the vibes are immaculate here at Fairmount. People are eating outside, eating inside. Come on out and support. You know what, though, bro? You know who is leading the team in minutes per game in the
Maxey?
playoffs? Tyrese Maxey,
Maxey.
over 42 points a game. Just 1 single point below Joel Embiid for the scoring lead on the team. And a lot of speculation, a lot of thoughts, a lot of concern over how he would be able to meet the challenge of the postseason. I heard Draymond Green talking about the fact that the playoffs ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't come and bring their game and is able to rise to the
Karl
occasion.
Anthony Towns.
But Tyrese Maxey, though, also a Kentucky guy, has been balling. He's been bringing that same intensity, that same swag, that same non-anxiety play that Doc Rivers has talked about to the floor. You have to be pleased with his performance. And did that catch you off guard at all? Did you think there would be the continuity from regular season to postseason for him?
Honestly, I did not. A year ago when we was doing the pod and we talked about just getting another backup point guard behind Ben Simmons, who was on the team at the
Right.
time, I thought it was unfair to put all that on Tyrese Maxey.
It turns out he's definitely not a point guard. Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey came in, he started the season, played very well, and I feel like every month he's grown and played better and better. Beyond the numbers, just looking at his play. We get to the playoffs, and he's not shy at a moment. He comes down the court every time looking to make a big play. He's hustling on defense. He is not scared of the moment. I'm very happy with what we're getting out of Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, bro. He's just been a great, pleasant surprise. I put him in the same category as guys like Jordan Poole. who have taken these great strides and shown what they can be every game out.
Every game.
He still defers sometimes and tries to set up Joel where I feel like he can hunt his own shot more, but it's worked really well and has put the Sixers in position to sweep. How important is it for them to sweep, though, do you think? Is that, like, mandatory for them to be able to prepare themselves for this battle with the Heat in the next round?
It's not mandatory. They're up 3-0. The chances of them losing the series at this point is practically 0-0. Like,
no team has ever come back from.
In the NBA, we've seen it in baseball.
Yeah, but this is the NBA.
NBA,
the number, just to put the number out there, is 0 for 143. Teams who are up 3-0 in the best of 7 series have not lost ever.
So the sweep, it's important to get that extra rest. It's not mandatory. It's not win or go home type level of stress on the Sixers, but you want that rest, especially since the Hawks just forced at least a game 5 in their series against the Heat. You want that rest as Embiid with the thumb. You want these guys to get some rest. James Harden, these guys have been in the league for a while, so you want them to rest and not pick up a basketball every day. Rest, practice, watch some game footage to be prepared for the next series.
Somebody who has been really prepared is Tobias Harris, as we talked about, and what he's been doing with Harden, what he's doing with Siakam. But it's funny when we look at the numbers, and sometimes James Harden isn't that prolific scorer that we have seen in Houston and seen in South Philly at times, erupting for 50-point games. People kind of, are hesitant to feel like as comfortable with this version of James Harden. So does he still thrive? Does the team still thrive if he's not scoring a bunch of points against the Heat if they take care of business today? Do you feel like that matchup with Miami demands more from him from a scoring perspective?
Without a doubt.
Oh, okay.
Without a doubt. I think he's played well this series. He's definitely played well. I think he has to take it up to the next level when the Sixers play the Heat, or if they make it past that to play the Bucks, Nets, or Celtics. Take it up a next level. He's played very well. But I think the Sixers need 25 from him a game to beat those more superior teams. This is the Raptors. It's not the upper echelon of the East. So he's played very well, not to take anything from him. But the Sixers to go on, they definitely need more. What you think?
I didn't expect you to say that. I really feel like the roles have been defined, and I like what the Sixers' roles are right now. And he's been thriving as that facilitator, and I steal this thought from Jim Lynam quite frequently that, when Maxey is scoring 30 points and Embiid scoring 35 and Tobias Harris has 20, but maybe Harden doesn't have a great shooting night, but the assist number, like all that doesn't happen. Those guys playing well, the team winning by mistake. You know what I'm saying? So Harden is – go ahead. I see you talking.
No, I hear you. I hear you on that. What I'm saying is Harden can't have a 6 for 17 night. A 3 for 15.
I don't even think he's going to shoot the ball that much.
He can't.
He's going to probably shoot like 12 shots and get to the line like 10 times.
The joke on Twitter that I saw Jalen Rose doing ESPN tour dates. He can't have a tour date set line.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a little. It was funny though, but Harden can't do that. Look, 12 of 16, 10 of 17. Like none of these 6 and 18 games. Just more efficient. That's what I'm asking for. If he's more efficient, other guys would probably get more opportunities as well.
You know what? I definitely agree. I feel like Harden is still trying to get acclimated to the way the team works with him shooting the ball on the catch and shoot, which he isn't great at. And he seems to defer his shot sometimes to set up other guys, and it has worked well. I remember one time where he tried to step back, and instead of shooting it, he whipped it to Tobias Harris, who shot a 3 and made it. And I think the same thing happened with Maxey. So, to me, that's unorthodox, but it seemed like with the team, it works. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you on the efficiency. Right. I don't even need him to shoot that much or score that much. I just need him to be efficient, whatever that looks like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not as tied to the scoring as you are, but I think 25 points is definitely reasonable.
And I see the comments. Harden's pacing himself. He used to burn himself out in the second and third round by scoring 30. Again, I'm just saying, be more efficient, and when they get to the Heat in the next round, either Celtics, Bucks, or Nets after that, 25 a night isn't asking for too much from out of James Harden.
Patty said Jalen Rose doesn't like the Sixers. Hey, No one likes us. We don't care. I think that is the mantra that we're working with. But welcome to the Sixers Talk Podcast. Glad you could be here. We're live from the 76ers Bar Network, the Philly Unite playoff party, brought to you by Corona. And maybe some Coronas might touch these lips later on. We will see. But, hey, it is a great day. It's a great day to be anywhere, but Fairmount is popping. The place is filling up, as you can see, and there's plenty of people here. And are we Sixers fans who are going to be humble with this win over the Raptors, or are we going to rub it in their face? I think this should be a rub it in their face type of game, right?
I rub everything in everyone's face. I play family and chess or checkers. I run it in their face. If I get a layup against somebody and they beat me 10-1 in the pickup basketball, I'm rubbing it in their face. I don't know how to win humbly.
Hey,
I wasn't taught that lesson as a kid.
Hey, you and Joel Embiid are kindred spirits because the way he was trash talking Drake, which was a lot of not suited for work commentary, and the way he was barking at the fans, and you know, he plays it cool at the press conference afterwards, saying, you know, he's not thinking about the shot from last time and stuff like that. But his play on the court and his reaction to all that stuff tells me that that's on his mind.
Without a doubt. I don't know why he said he didn't think about it. Like, I'm going to drive that needle and just twist the knife. Yeah, I think about it. And I wanted you to feel the same pain. And I'm going to do it again in Game 4. I wish just do a little bit of that.
Man, it silenced.
Win humbly.
Silenced an entire arena, that man did, as he took the Sixers to victory in Game 3. Let's talk about this coaching matchup a little bit. And are we prepared to give some flowers to Doc Rivers, or is that not appropriate?
Chill.
No? Relax.
Don't go too far. I still got to get home. I don't want people waiting for me at the car. Doc Rivers has coached very well in the series. He's out-coached Nick Nurse. I know Nick Nurse is limited with the roster he has and with the injuries. But Doc Rivers has coached circles around him. And after seeing what Embiid and Maxey did in Game 1, you would have thought Nick Nurse would have had a different game plan in Game 2. And it seemed like the game plan was try harder. And that's not a game plan. Right. That's what you tell your little league soccer team or something when the kids just
we're getting all the calls. All the calls have shifted. The momentum as far as what the refs were seeing on each end changed. And the Sixers, down 17, came back from that. There were times I thought they weren't going to come back. I didn't think they were going to get over the hump. They finally got the playoff lead. I mean, the lead for the game by Maxey layup in overtime. That was their first lead. And Embiid, who I didn't know, was 0 for 14 on last-second shots in the playoff. I didn't know that. I didn't know
that either.
Yeah. So he was like 0 for 14 before that shot of winning or tying shots or however it went. But he had a tough go of it.
Okay.
So exercising some demons are this team.
And the only way you get – I didn't know that was his stat at, buzzer beater shots.
Yeah.
With the game on the line.
Yep.
But only way you get better is to keep shooting it. And that's why the greats, they never turned down the shots. Kobe Bryant did. Michael Jordan did. Kobe Bryant's first playoff series, I believe, against Utah, he airballed back-to-back three-pointers at the end of the game. And one of the greatest basketball players ever. I'm glad Embiid shot that shot. Now, retrospect, because at the time I was worried when he just put up a step-back three after he did it in the regulation. But Sixers, they get to sweep tonight. Nick Nurse is being out-coached by Doc Rivers. Let's get Embiid some rest for that thumb.
Embiid 0 for 14 in game-tying or go-ahead buckets before that Game 3 swish. So, man, it is a pleasure to be here with you. And as we think about this Sixers team, there's only one destination that's going to please this fan base. And it's not the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not a finals berth. It is to be the last team standing.
It's to be riding down Broad Street with that trophy, the Larry O'Brien trophy.
The Larry O.B. Now, the landscape in the NBA has changed a little bit. Devin Booker nursing a hamstring injury that could put him out a few weeks. That's on the West Coast. On the East Coast, Chris Middleton out for the postseason. That really affects what the Bucks are doing. Robert Williams for the Celtics could be coming back, which would change what they're doing, and they're really taking it to the Nets without him.
Right.
Are the Sixers still the team that you think can be the dark horse, maybe not the vogue pick for people to win the whole thing? Are you feeling like they can rise out of this Eastern Conference? And has any of that changed your perspective on how far they can go?
If they continue to play well.
Come on, man.
No.
If they continue
If
to
it
play,
play-
they're
no,
up
play well.
3 games and nothing. They're going to play like they play right now.
Play well, but next round, the Heat, I don't think anyone is going to say is comparable to
I'm alluding
to the Raptors. The Hawks are. I mean, the Heat are a better team than that.
They're the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
right.
they're that's tougher opponents. So, I would say.
What's your gut telling you?
What's my gut telling you? I think the Sixers can make a run to the Eastern Conference Finals. After that, it really depends who they end up matching up with. Because they can end up playing the Celtics, they can play the Bucks or the Nets.
I love doing this podcast in person because I can feel your body language a little more, your
language?
vibe. So I'm feeling that you don't want to answer this question. Is what I'm feeling.
What do you think, Danny Pommells?
I'm thinking they're going all the way, baby.
They're going all the way?
Let's go Sixers. Let's go Sixers. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting too hyped, but everybody's feeling me. Yeah, there we go, Redhead. Thank you, miss. Thank you very much.
Redhead.
I'm sorry, but I'm excited. I haven't even started consuming beverages yet.
Get some food in your system.
But I haven't eaten a thing.
You got the Sixers going all the way.
I cleaned out the fridge this morning. I threw away, one of those arugula spinach things. I threw that away, and I shoved some of that in.
It's just me at home. I don't have anything like that in my fridge.
Well, you can buy. It's like a little spring mix.
I have
the
no
spring
idea.
mix from Whole
Spring
Foods.
mix.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. The spring
okay.
mix. So I cleaned out the fridge. I haven't eaten a lot, so I might be a little loopy.
A little loopy.
But I feel like you were avoiding the question a little bit. Because look, this is what I'm saying. Suddenly, things are shaping up in a way that could favor the Sixers.
Right. Kyle Lowry got the hamstring issue in Miami.
Right. So the Celtics are probably the team I fear the most. There's familiarity with the Heat.
There's familiarity with Heat. I understand you're fearing the Celtics. They got the best record since the
and they
All-Star
got
break.
Ime. I think that's because he knows everybody
He's
that's
coaching
here.
very well.
And he's coaching very well, and he knows everybody here. So I feel like that's the team that I'm most fearful about. I think the Middleton thing changes things with the Bucks a lot because he definitely has been a guy that they've leaned on, particularly against the Sixers, to get buckets, win one-on-one matchups.
You don't believe Grayson Allen's going to continue to get buckets?
I'm not a big Grayson Allen fan, bro.
I think Spencer is the only person I know that's
a
Grayson Allen fan.
Grayson Allen needs a PITF, which is an acronym for punch in the face. So I'm not a big fan. I'm not saying anyone should do that, but he acts as if he's the guy.
No one's ever laid hands on him.
You know what Grayson Allen acts like? The guy who is giving Mike Tyson an earful on the plane. That's who Grayson Allen acts like, and he needs the Tyson treatment over the seat in return.
Wasn't ready for those hands. He
Oh
didn't think
my
it was going to
gosh,
happen.
bro! I probably watched that video like 66 times.
It was an amazing video.
Was it ever? In the lead up, like who do you think you are? Like why would you ever poke the bear that is Mike Tyson?
Oh no,
But
no, but as you said,
I think look, I think that Eastern Conference Finals is definitely viable. I think the Celtics have a few of those intangibles and the incredible defense. Al Horford, Ime Udoka, the stranglehold they had over the Sixers in the playoffs over the last couple of years. All that means something. So that would be the team I'm worried about. I feel like they match up better with the Bucks. I like that Joel and the Jimmy dynamic in the Heat series, and I think that makes Joel and the thumb like obsolete. Like he wants to beat them probably as much as any team in the postseason. You know what I'm saying? So I'm optimistic that they can make the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm a little apprehensive about their matchup with the Celtics, but I got to believe that they can go all the way. But what's the point of being here? You know what I'm saying? The journey is important, but if I don't believe they can win the whole thing, then it's just the same as all the other seasons. You know what I'm saying?
I completely understand. You play to win the game. Coach Herm Edwards said.
Yeah.
So if us as fans don't believe they can do that, there's no reason for us to support. And a bunch of people here, they all believe the Sixers can win. You believe it. I believe it.
I had a thought that was non-Sixers related, and I wonder if I can share it.
Share it. We got time.
We're here at a Sixers watch party.
Okay.
Is it a violation to be rocking other teams' gear at the Sixers watch party?
Who?
I can't call anybody out.
Yes, we can. I don't see him.
I see a John Kruk jersey. But it's
Oh,
a Sixers watch party, though.
It's Philadelphia, though. It's
So
Philadelphia.
all Philadelphia goes.
It's Philadelphia. I thought you saw somebody with, something real skeptical. I'm looking around.
Well, I mean, you got a nice shirt on, but it's not Sixers related.
Negro League Baseball.
Okay.
Negro League Baseball.
But I just, come on and wear your Sixers gear. If you got Sixers gear, wear it. Today's the day. You know what I mean? Only a few tables available. The libations are flowing here in South Philly at Fairmount. I work in South Philly. This is Fairmount. This is the Fairmount Urban Saloon. Come on out and support. I like the decor here. I definitely was sleeping on this place. I'd never dipped up in here, but I will be dipping up in here more because they got TVs galore. The bartenders are attentive. I don't see anybody with their hand raised asking for drinks. Everybody's comfortable. The conversations are good. I will be here more often.
So, Danny, question for you. Sixers close the series out today.
Yeah.
Who do you think is like the MVP of the series?
I'm going with Maxey.
Oh, Maxey.
Joel hit the shot, but he scored 33 points last game, but had 5 in the first half. I feel like Maxey has been more rock steady in complementary to Joel, whereas you knew Joel would get his and you knew he would be the focal point, but he needs a running mate, and I think Maxey's emergence as that running mate, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt that he would be what he was in the regular season, from the regular season in the playoffs, but until you see it, you just don't know. I'm definitely like the state of Missouri, the show me state. You got to show me. You know what I'm saying? So he's showing it, and I just am so confident when he has the basketball. I feel the same confidence when Joel shoots it that when Tyrese Maxey shoots it. When he squares to the basket and rises up, whether it's a floater, whether it's a three-point shot, a mid-range jumper, I just have full confidence in him. And I actually don't feel that way about Tobias or Harden when they shoot it. Maxey kind of gets me excited about this team and how far they can go.
That was my answer, but just to go differently, because it'd be boring if we just agreed on everything. I'm going to go with maybe not the MVP, but just very important to the series, Tobias Harris, and you're probably shocked because how
I
just
didn't
dunked
expect
on
those
him.
words to come, but that wasn't your first choice. But go ahead.
How I've dunked on him for the past 3 years. Playing well offensive, playing great defense on Pascal Siakam. We went over the numbers earlier, what he's doing. And he's growing into this role that Doc Rivers and the Sixers have him playing. If he continues to play like that, that's great news for the Sixers. That's bad news for whoever they'll match up with going forward.
Man, we are an hour and a half from tip-off, 2 o'clock in Toronto. Game 5 would be Monday if necessary. We are hoping the Sixers can break out the brooms and sweep this Raptors team. And, it definitely won't be the same as, 2019 when the Raptors went all the way on the heels of beating the Sixers. But I feel like it definitely counts as some redemption toward, the battle between these two teams. Of course, we can go back to the Iverson era and the Vince Carter stuff and how that all matched up with Vince Carter going to graduate at the University of North Carolina and then come in to play Game 7. Yeah, but it didn't work out for them. So I think the Sixers and the Raptors are definitely developing a rivalry that has some great characters and storylines in it. But I think most of all, I'm surprised by the contribution of Doc Rivers. I'm excited by Tyrese Maxey. Joel is what I would expect. Let's talk a little bit more about James Harden, because if the Sixers have 2 All-Stars before the Ben Simmons trade, 2 All-Stars, 2 superstars were on the team. Why are you making a face?
Okay. I wasn't sure who the other All-Star was.
They had 2 great players, 2 cornerstones.
Oh, the guy that wasn't playing in Joel.
Yeah, he was. Okay. He wasn't, but he was, what he was.
He was on the team. He just wasn't playing.
He was what he was while he was here. So if they had 2 All-Stars, I don't know if this version of James Harden fits the category of superstar. Is he like a player you see next season being in the NBA All-Star game like he was this year?
Yeah, because the All-Star game is a popularity contest. Yeah,
yeah.
Sixers have a good record. He's going to get
He is
votes
second in the league in assists.
Yeah.
But is he still?
He's not what he was in Houston. During any of the 7 seasons he was there, 7, 8 seasons he was there. He's a very good player. He is an all-star caliber. caliber player. Superstar, most likely not. I think superstar top 5, top 10 player in the league.
I think, but my thing I'm alluding to that is, do you need 2 bona fide, at least superstars, to be that upper echelon type of team? Maxey seems to be
for year after year, or just to make a run to the championship.
This season, like, do you see? Obviously the Heat with Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero, probably the 6th man of the year. We can go up and down, from the Golden State Warriors with.
I think Bam.
Steph
I think
Jordan
Bam
Poole.
is a phenomenal player. I think Jimmy Butler is a phenomenal player. Tyler Hero, 6th man of the year. They got Kyle Lowry. I don't think any of them are superstars, though. I think there's a difference between all-star and a superstar.
Right. So that would mean that you think that Ben Simmons fit that category, but they lose Ben. But do they have the cachet of
Ben was a all-star, not a superstar.
borderline? But it's arguable. But go ahead.
What made him a superstar?
His all-star appearances, his versatility, his name recognition, people game planning to slow him down in order to stop the Sixers, like that type of thing.
Superstars take over games routinely.
All right. Some new information here into the Sixers Talk podcast. Nick Nurse saying that Scotty Barnes might play here in Game 4. Of course, Joel Embiid stepped on his ankle and smashed it to smithereens.
It was an accident, people.
It was bad, though. He was grabbing that foot for dear life. But he could be back here today. Does that change how you feel the Raptors might perform?
Not really. Scotty Barnes, nice young player. He's not stopping Embiid, especially if his ankle is not 100%. So the Raptors.
But he could slow down the other guys, though, and could be the guy that they use to double, Embiid in the post or whenever he catches the ball to irritate him, cause some disruptions, force some turnovers. They had 15 turnovers in the first half last game.
And for the Raptors to win, they would need 15. They would need to force the Sixers to commit 15 turnovers in both halves. Because the Sixers are just a far superior team, so the Sixers would just have to shoot themselves in the foot. Can't get out of their own way to lose this game.
There have been matchups when Scotty Barnes is being guarded by Tyrese Maxey, and that hasn't always gone well, particularly when Scotty takes him in the post. Scotty Barnes, he's a rookie. How much difference can he make? But I think the Raptors' strength is their versatility and their interchangeability. So he does add that as a factor of being somebody who can switch on guys, who can guard multiple positions. So it doesn't make me feel like the Sixers have as much of an edge if he comes back, but I still give the edge to them because I feel like they know that they need to take care of business and move on to the next series. But an interesting caveat, and they got to, throw everything at this and try to make some of that stuff succeed to try to elongate the series.
Yeah, try to. It's not going to do much, and we don't have much time left, but I want to get your idea, your opinion on some of the other games around in the playoffs.
I really am surprised and enjoying the Nuggets series because the more Steph Curry, the better for me. I'm a big Jordan Poole fan, so I'm enjoying that.
That new death lineup they have with Jordan Poole, Wiggins, Clay, Steph, and Draymond. They're plus 29 and I think only 30 minutes. Yo, that is insane.
Well, Steph had 34 in 23 minutes of play the other night. Come on, bro. You're talking about a point per minute. Forget about that. He's surpassed that.
Watching what Draymond Green is doing to Jokic.
Yeah.
Jokic is shooting 60% when anyone else is guarding him. It's under 30 when Draymond is on.
Now, I dare them, if they ever match up in the the NBA Finals, I dare them to put just Draymond on Joel Embiid. Would never happen.
Did they do that couple of years ago when the Sixers had that big lead against the Warriors going into halftime? And the Warriors came back? Is that what
in Golden State?
It was. It was in Philly.
I can't remember that far back. But
I was living in D.C. I came back for that game. That's the only reason I remember it.
No, I don't remember that far back.
So you dare them to do that?
I dare them to have Draymond guarding Joel Embiid. Okay, Nikola Jokic is one thing, but go ahead.
I don't dare them. I just want it to happen easier for the Sixers.
And, those 10 games have been tough to stay up for, but I'm also a big Trae Young fan, and watching him do what he did last night against the Heat was intriguing. I'm surprised that the Celtics are down 2-0.
I mean, up 2 games.
I mean, the Nets are down 2-0. But
the Nets look like they need a coach. That's what they look like they need. It just being out coached. Like Steve Nash is what you're there to do, and he hasn't been doing anything. I've liked the Grizzlies-Wolves series.
a lot of trash talking.
Karl Anthony Towns said we in Minnesota now. I haven't seen him since game 1.
Yeah, he's had like 3 bad games here. For me, I like Patrick Beverly. He's the type of guy you would want on your team.
Not the type of guy you want to play against.
Not the type of guy you want to play against.
All black Air Force Ones.
For him to feel like he can get in Ja Morant's head is hilarious to me, because I see him as like the next level, the upper echelon of that next group of young players poised to take over the league. So, yeah, it's a lot of good playoff basketball, and I'm excited about how the NBA kind of takes over the sports landscape here this time of year. There's so many games and so much to watch and do. The coaches are speaking. We mentioned Nick Nurse, Doc Rivers saying that really it is what it is with Joel Embiid's thumb, that he's going to try to play through it. They got the brace on there. An MRI should be coming, but he's not overly concerned with how Joel Embiid will perform. So that should make us feel good too, right?
Yeah, if Doc's comfortable, I don't think he's doing it for game face or any gamesmanship. If Doc's comfortable, if the team's not worried about it, the fans shouldn't be worried about it. Fans should be very comfortable with Embiid's thumb and his health going into Game 4.
Bro, we are here in Fairmount at the Urban Saloon at the Unite playoff party. DJ Ghost just walked in, the Sixers official DJ. He's setting up. It's about to be rocking like grandma's favorite chair here. Come on out, have some fun. Enjoy the food and the atmosphere and the libations.
Oh, it's packed in here now.
It is. We're getting close to the tip-off.
Get some drinks, get some food. I'm going to hang out for a while afterwards.
You want to do like a score prediction?
Yeah, let's do a score prediction. Age before beauty.
Why you got to put it on me first?
Age before beauty.
All right, score prediction. It was a little more lower scoring than I expected last game. I think it'll be that way this game. I got the Sixers winning 110-98. This is the premonition. My boy's wearing the Air Max 98s over here, so that's just 98 sounding good.
I got my Vapor Max on. I got it 117-92.
Oh, you got a blowout.
Yeah, blowout. It's over. It's a wrap.
So the Sixers are sitting Joel Embiid in the fourth quarter? That type of vibe?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Sitting Embiid, sitting Maxey, sitting Harden. Hopefully we get to see some B-Ball Paul. The fans on YouTube and Facebook want to see B-Ball Paul. It's a wrap.
NBC Sports Philadelphia is the home of your 76ers playoffs. As you know, catch pre- and post-game live and after every game, all playoffs long. Amy Fadul, Jim Lynam, and Mark Jackson giving you all the insights you love. Amy with the behind-the-scenes videos. If you have not seen Jim Lynam and Mark Jackson's reaction to Joel Embiid's Game 3 shot, go look it up. It is fantastic. It was our pleasure to be here. Ben Berry, bro, I had not seen this dude in the flesh in almost 3 years because of the pandemic.
No, I dropped off some headphones for you. Early on, yeah.
That was early, though.
Yeah, that was early on, but yeah.
All right, so maybe 2 years then.
2 years,
yeah. Like,
it's been a minute, though.
It has been a minute.
I could go another 3 years.
Yeah. I wore deodorant, so it's not that. Maybe it's just my charming personality he doesn't like. But nonetheless, it's our pleasure to join you here from the Urban Saloon in Fairmount. Hey, enjoy the game. The Sixers Talk podcast will be with you every step of the way here. For Ben Berry, our guy Noah Levick, check out his work on NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com. I'm Danny Pommells. For all of the people here behind the scenes, Tom Feiner, Ashley Hall, and Travis, we appreciate your time. Go Sixers. We're brought to you by Wilmington University. WilMU Works. We'll see you next time.